be hosting today's eRegistry training along with my colleague Ijaz. So I will be walking through the process to file a CFI claim. Where can we find certain forms available at the eRegistry portal? And then he will walk us through the procedure to file a case bundle and all of the requirements that are required with filing a case bundle. Yeah. So I will go through the process. If anybody has any questions, we'll go through those first, and then we can go through the case bundle together. So to file a claim at the DIFC courts, we go on to the main website. I'll just move that slightly. So we go to the DIFC courts website, difccourts.ae. And you can go ahead and you can click on File a Claim at the bottom left of the main web page. And you click on Login. Now, if you already have an account with us, you can just enter your credentials and log in. And if you don't already have an account on the eRegistry portal, you can just sign up. And the process to sign up is very easy. It is just to add in your personal information, so your first name, last name, your personal details. And once you have your account, you can then simply log in. We also have the option to log in with the UAE Pass. So when it comes to basic filings in the eRegistry portal, we have two types of registered practitioners. We have Part 1 and Part 2. So Part 1, thank you for your patience. So we'll try and file a claim together in the court of first instance. Now, the claim form is not something that we can download and upload. It is a form that needs to be filled in electronically, and it needs to be filled onto the web page. So the first step is to add in the claimant's information. So it depends whether you're filing it as an individual or as a company. You add in. Thank you, Ijaz, and I hope everybody can see our screen now. Okay. So you add in the claimant's information. So you add in their name, whether they are, so the claimant's information, whether they are a resident, if you have their Emirates ID, nationality, address, basic information that belongs to the claimant, phone number, and primary email address. You also have the option to add in a secondary email address that belongs to the claimant. We then click on Add to List, which basically means all of the information that we have added into these fields will then be saved in the claim form. If I scroll up over here, it says Add, and the second I click on Add to List, it will then add in all of that information to the claim form. We then proceed with Next if there's only one claimant, and then we add in the defendant's information. So again, whether you're filing that on an individual or on a company, and you add in their name. So Ijaz, we will be filing this against you. Nationality, address, country, phone number, and then again, the defendant's primary email address that you have. And in the event you also have a secondary email address that belongs to the defendant, you can also add that in. And the same procedure, we add all of this information to list, and then the defendant's information is saved to the claim form. We then click on Next to go on to the next page, and here you have to select whether you're filing a Part 7 or a Part 8 claim, and then you add in the claim value that you wish to seek from this claim. And depending on the claim value that is being entered, there is a court fee that needs to be paid. In the CFI, the court fee is paid in 3 different tranches. So the first one is payable with the claim form. Unless this 35% is not paid, the claim form is not formally registered with the DIFC courts. The second stage is when the case management conference is listed, and then the third stage is at the pre-trial review of the claim. So if I add in no claim amount, the court fee that I would have to pay is $5,000 divided into 3 different tranches. And then depending on the claim amount that you wish to seek, the percentage varies accordingly. If you would like to get more information on that, you can find it in the schedule of fee that we have published on the DIFC courts website. But for example, if I were to add in a claim value, let's say that amount, then the court fee then changes according to the amount. But let's say if I'm just filing for 1,000, then the only court fee that is applicable is $5,000. We then click next. And then here you add in particulars of claim, whether they will be included below, or if it will be followed if an acknowledgement of service is filed that indicates an intention to defend the claim. This can be written in a paragraph, or it can be written in bullet points. We don't have any specific requirement that we're looking for. And then I'm going to click on Save. So let's say if you're working on the claim form and you wish to take a break to collect documents, for example, or if you will be coming back to the claim form itself, it stays in the system for 30 days. But for that, you need to click on Save, and then you can just log out, clicking on your username. And the next time you log in, you can just click on your username again, go to My Drafts, and you'll find the claim form in the exact same position as you have left it off. So you don't have to start from scratch every time. But having said that, the claim form remains in your drafts for 30 days. After that, it is then deleted. Then you have to select jurisdiction, so whether it's default or opt-in, law governing the dispute, law giving rise to the jurisdiction of the DIFC courts, the remedy that you are seeking from this claim, and the service location, so whether the service of this claim form will be within Dubai or outside Dubai. Then if you have any supporting documents that you wish to attach with the claim form, this is where you can attach them. We don't have a restriction as to the number of documents that can be uploaded, but we do have a file restriction. It is 20 MB. So in the event you have crossed that threshold, you can then split documents further and you can upload as many as you want. That wouldn't be a problem. And then we select the statement of truth. I believe that the facts stated in this form are true. If it is a litigant in person that is filing a claim, they then select I'm a litigant in person. But if a law firm is filing a case on behalf of their client, then they can just go ahead and click next. And then you add in your billing information. If there is an alternative billing address that you wish to be billed for this claim, you can then go ahead and click on alternative billing address and then add in the relevant information. We then click on next, and this is your chance to preview the claim form before it is submitted. Any changes that are made to the claim form after it has been filed and formally registered with the DIFC courts, there is a court fee of $100 for any amendment to the claim form at any stage of the proceedings. So at this stage, you can review the claim form to check if there are any typos, if there's anything that you wish to change at this stage before formally filing the claim form. You do have the option to do that. So you can go back into the relevant option that you want to update, and then you can just make that change. Once you are happy with the claim form, you can then go ahead and select the declaration. I hereby declare that the information given above is true and correct to the best of my knowledge. Once you have done that, you will then have the option to submit the claim form. And once you click on submit, you will then have a invoice that needs to be paid. It will then take you to the online page that we have, the online payment link that we have to pay court fee. Now we have a few different modes of payment. We have cash at the DIFC courts. We have payment by POS. We have wire transfer into our AED account and USD account. We also have the options for a check, and of course we have online payment. And once payment has been received by our finance department, then the claim is formally registered, and then that automated email comes from the eRegistry. Thank you for filing your claim at the DIFC courts. It then gives you the generated case number that you have in the relevant division, and you also get a sealed version of the claim form. So once the claim form has been filed, trying to go back into you. So once the case has been filed, when you go into Our Cases, it will then appear in the list of all the cases that you have. So for example, if I click on this one, this is the most recently filed claim that we have in the CFI. And as I said about amending claim form, so our previous practice was if anybody wanted to amend the claim form, they had to send a copy of the claim form, make all those changes in red ink so that they are visible, and then the registry would issue a invoice of $100. And once that was paid, we would seal the amended claim form and then it would be uploaded onto the system. Now we've made this electronic, so instead of sending us a copy of the claim form with red ink, you can go ahead and you can click on Amend Claim, and it will ask you to confirm whether you wish to amend the claim form. When you click on Yes, it will then take you back into the claim form from the first step. So if there's any changes that you wish to make at any stage, so let's say if you want to make multiple changes or just one change, you'll be able to do that to the claim form. And once the changes have been made and the invoice has been paid for, the changes will then automatically reflect onto the claim form. And in the system, you will then see a previous claim form and you will see the amended version of the claim form as well. So let's say a claim has been filed and you have filed an application notice. For you to see a list of all the forms that we have, we can go into Services, Claims and Events, and then we go into Case Event Forms. And here you can find the list of all of the documents or forms that we have at the DIFC courts. So you can find the Acknowledgement of Service, the Certificate of Service, Admission, Defense, Offer to Settle, Request for a Default Cost Certificate, again, Certificate of Service. So the Acknowledgement of Service form and the Certificate of Service form, there's two different types. There's one specifically for the SCT. So Acknowledgement of Service Part 53 is for SCT cases. Acknowledgement of Service P11, P8, P42 is for CFI cases. Certificate of Service Part 53 is for SCT cases. And Certificate of Service P215 is for CFI claims. So if you're filing a Certificate of Service in a CFI claim, you have to make sure that you have selected the correct Certificate of Service. The withdrawal request form is something that a claimant can file in the SCT if they wish to withdraw the claim. And in the event so the claimant wants to file a notice of discontinuance, then they can file this relevant form. If they file a withdrawal request, that is a SCT specific form, so it wouldn't be applicable. Whereas the electronic filing cover sheet can be used for any kind of documents that you wish to file in the claim. It has a few different categories within the form. If the document that you are filing does not fall within those categories, we do have the option to select other, which I will show you. You can then file your documents or your submissions through that. So if I add in my case number, so CFI 018-2026, claimant, I'm a litigant in person, for example, I click next. Is this filing associated to an active application? If it is, then you have to add in the relevant application number. If it is not, then this option will just gray out for you. And then these are the list of categories that I just mentioned. So if the type of document, for example, is an expert report, you can just select on the relevant option. And if it is not, then you can scroll all the way to the bottom and select other. You then have to provide brief details of the document that you are submitting, whether you're filing the above document with or without notice to other parties. Choose a draft order with the application. So I already have a default or a draft order that I wish to attach with the electronic filing cover sheet. And I will just, once I have selected it, I can go to next. If I have, the supporting documents that I wish to attach with the electronic filing cover sheet, I can just upload them from here. If you have further documents, you have the option to add them into other documents. You select Statement of Truth, and then you can go ahead and you can file the electronic filing cover sheet. So let's say if I have filed an application, which I have in CFI 18 over here. This is where I filed an application notice. For you to find the application notice form, we can just click on forms and it will be, it can be found here as the fourth option as a form. There are different ways for you to get to the application notice form. So this is the first one. It is within the case. If you like, you can also go into claims and events and you can then select applications. And over here, you'll find an application notice. If you're filing an electronic filing cover sheet, there's three ways that you can get to that relevant form. So you can go into the claim, we click on forms, and you'll find the electronic filing cover sheet. So that's the first way. The second one is to go into services, claims and events, case event forms, and you'll find the electronic filing cover sheet. And then the third way is to go back into services, claims and events, applications, and electronic filing cover sheet. We are aware that this is a document or a form that is used quite a bit in cases, which is why we've made access to the form in multiple ways, based on preference as to how you wish to approach and how you wish to access the said form. So once I filed an application, and let's say it's an application with a hearing. So yes, I filed this application to be dealt with at a hearing for 4 hours and 30 minutes. When the registry lists the application hearing, we send out a listing email to all parties that are involved, which includes the date, the time, and the date, and the judge that will be presiding over that hearing. And we send the eRegistry link to the hearing. Once that link has been generated, you are then able to file the relevant case bundle to that application hearing. So if you click on case bundle within your case, you will then be able to select the relevant case bundle under the relevant hearing. So for example, when I got to the case bundle page, I clicked on create bundle, select hearing. The application hearing is listed for the 3rd of March 2026. Once you click on that, you are then able to work on your case bundle. Before we proceed with the case bundle, are there any questions that you would like to go through before we proceed? Yep. What if the defendant's email or phone is unknown? So we wouldn't be able to assist with that kind of information because that is information that the claimant needs to have for filing the claim. So that's information that the claimant or the legal representatives that would be filing the claim, they would have to find all of that information pertaining to the defendant or defendants. Any further questions?
Maybe typical question on submissions of draft orders, because there's an option you can check in for the relevant details and then it's automatically generated. But we usually have it had in Word anyway. So your preference should be upload our Word version, or we just take filled in basically generated.
We would say the automatically generated draft order in the system, because once you submit, let's say, the application or the electronic filing cover sheet, the draft order then is made at the same time. So it's best if, yes, the automated one can be proceeded with. Any further questions? Shall we then? I'm sorry, could yeah. So if it doesn't fall within any of the forms that we already have at the DIFC courts, you can then file it through the electronic filing cover sheet. So we don't have voice messages or videos by default to be uploaded, so you would need the court's permission in advance for something of that kind. Yeah. And if it has been provided, then we make certain arrangements for that. If a claim has been ordered to move from Part 8 to Part 7, does the amended claim form procedure follow? So you would have to get the registry's instructions in the event that they would like for this to happen. But generally, the claim form is amended in the event that the claimant would like to amend any details in the claim. What about the costs to file with this same regard? I'm sorry, could you elaborate on that a bit further for me? So if a claim has moved from Part 8 to Part 7 and there's, let's say, an uplift in the amount in terms of fee, then yes, that would be applicable. And then because the claim will then follow a Part 7 procedure and not a Part 8 procedure. So this, you mentioned seeking permission from the court for filing of audio-video evidence. Should this done by way of a formal application or by email to the registry? So this is something that you would have to check with the case progression officers. They would be able to assist you better with that. So if you could then send that in an email, and then they would provide you with further directions. All right, should we then move on with the case bundle? And if we have more questions, we can address them. Okay. Yep. If you have any further questions post-training that you would like to discuss, you can then send them to inquiries@difccourts.ae. So that's ENQUIRIES at difccourts.ae, and then we will be able to get back to you via email. So this is the same email address that we used to register for today's training session. Okay, thank you.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Ijaz, and I'm working in D&D department as a digital service manager, and I look after all the digital services of DFC Courts. So we are going, we'll take you through the case bundle from big scratch, how we will file it, and normal issues which our lawyers or parties are complaining. We'll talk about it. So I'll just basically show you from the beginning to end the journey, how it is and how smooth it is, or what are the things we should consider before we upload or start our case bundle. So I will just start my. Again, for that, you log into your eRegistry and you have your cases. Go to your cases, click on your case, and then you click on the case bundle on the right side. Once you click on the right side, you will see your case. If you have already submitted few bundles, you will see in that submitted bundles, or if the hearing is completed, you will see in the hearing tab here. If you see few of the bundles in the submitted ones, we have multiple options there. You can see the I option, which is the view bundle. You can see if there are been multiple versions filed, you can see it there. You can edit the bundle anytime, and you can put your notes and comments, which I will show you in the while we will create a new bundle, and you will be able to share the bundle with external parties. You can, by default, when you submit the bundle, you have the option. By default, the system will send to the defendant, or you can enter their email address. Sometimes they just give us different email addresses. Witness email address will edit here and press add. It will be sent. So I'll go through from the beginning. So I'm in the draft. We'll click on the case bundle. You can only create the bundle if the hearing is listed by the CPOs. So that you can click on scheduled. I have few of my test hearings and I can choose which one is there. I can click. This is hearing on 11th of March. I can edit the name if I want. And by default, there are two sections, alphabetic, numeric, section A, section B, or section 1, 2. By default, it is alphabetic, section A, B, C, or it's your choice. You can choose it to the numerics. So we'll start creating the sections. So we will create the first section. I'll save it. So we have two options here. One is upload documents. You can drag and drop or upload directly from your desktop, or you can import from the submitted one, which is the hearing is completed. I'll show you the first imported one. You click on import. If there is a case event, you want to import something from your events, you can choose that event and select the date, and this event will come up here. You can select. It will be the second page of your section A, or you can click import. You can click that case bundle. There are multiple hearings already done. You can click on which was old hearing 12th of November 2025. I'll click on the arrow. I can import section A, section B, or I can import all together, or I can choose only section A, or another option, if you want in section B only particular files, you can import them. Once I select them, I select all your files will come up in the section A. You can see it here. And all those files, if you want to move around, you can just click that file, just drag it up, or click and drag it down. That is section A. I'll click on add more sections. Section A is complete. You can see there are 11 attachments. I will create just section 2, save it. Now I'll drag and drop files from the system. So I have upload option. I can, usually we have our documents ready in one of the folders. I can go to the folder. I can select all the files together, or I can select one by one files. Uploading is depending on your file size. Some files are like 100 MB, 50 MB. It takes little time. So one of the things I want everyone to notice, because a lot of times we are getting complaints that the files are not uploaded. It takes a lot of time. So all our files are getting scanned twice before they upload in the system. So our system is with Moro security. So all your files, when you upload it, it gets double scan before it get uploaded. So a lot of files, PDF files previously, which we are experiencing issues with certain law firms, are digitally signed, or they are password encrypted, or they are some sort of security is enabled on those documents. For a layman, if they open the document, they don't know there is anything on those documents. So what we do at the back end, when the lawyers or people complain they are unable to do certain things with the documents, or the bundles are not generated, when we go backend logs, we see there are certain files or file in the section. Let's suppose section B, file number 10 has some security enabled. What we do is we download that file from the backend, we print as PDF. The print as PDF is, I'm sure you're all aware of that. If a document is creating issues, the better option is if we print as PDF, it will remove all enable security from the documents. If it is digitally signed, if the password is enabled, or some sort of encryption is enabled on the document, when we do the print as PDF, it removes that. So I have done that on the video call with a few law firms which were complaining about the system when we convert those files into like print as PDF. So that uploaded in seconds. But again, we are enhancing our system, and we are trying some different systems also to make life easy. Like all those parameters we are trying to avoid. But until that, if some people are facing issues with the certain documents, please make sure you are printing them as a PDF and then try to upload and check. So now I will add more documents here, upload documents. Now I'll select all. Those are almost those are 21 files altogether. Because the size is smaller, less than 1 MB, you will see 21 files took less than 5 seconds to upload. Uh, even if it is in MBs, like for example, let's say if it is 50 MB, it will take a minute or 2 minutes maximum. It should take less than that, but if we go to the threshold, it will take 1 or 2 minutes. We had some issues with some of the law firms. Their file is itself like 100 MB because they are uploading one single PDF, which is previously bundled or shared by some other parties. That takes little time. Again, if we print that as a PDF, it removes all the security concern which is along with the files, and when we upload directly to the system, it is quicker than the original file. By the way, when we do control print as PDF, it doesn't remove or change any properties of the document. It just removes those security. Your pagination or your notes and things remains there. Once I upload those documents in the section B, I can just click the file, and if I have to move files from one place to another place, and now if you see there is this move option, if you click the move, now you can move certain files from one section to another. Previously, we didn't have this option. Now, if you see there is section, I have 2 sections only. Let's suppose you have 10 sections. I will select section A and I will say, okay, go to the last file, to 12th serial number. When I press move, this file is already moved. When I go back to the section A, you will see this was first 11 attachments. Now it is the 12 attachment is already there. So I'll submit this document. While submitting, I have this option to, if I want to keep it private, which is not, we shouldn't do that. If when we are right now, only the claimant has ability to create the bundle. We are working on one of the enhancement where both claimant and defendant, they can work together on the document, and they both can upload the files. So because this is my test case, there is no parties. By default, there will be a party listed. By default, when we submit the bundle, by default, the defendant registered email address will receive an email. Anyways, you can go back if the defendant or they have multiple parties, they want access to the file, they can go back and they can click share. They can enter their email address, add and share. They will receive a link. So they have only download option and view option. They have only read only option. If you want to download this bundle, you can click this download button. You have multiple options. You can download full bundle. You can download a section only if you want to download a section, or if you want to download a page only, you can do that. You have to just enter that page number 5, request download. Are you sure you want to request a copy of the bundle? Yes. And once the page is ready, it will send us an email. You can go back here, go to the previous bundle. It's in the process. It will be available after a few minutes, and then we can proceed with downloading this option. Or we can go ahead, click full bundle, request for download. Sometimes it doesn't work. As I mentioned, there are some security plugin on certain documents, which stops our process to generate the PDF, which usually when party complains, we go into the backend logs, we check why it is failing, and then we go to that particular file, we download that file, print as PDF and re-upload that, and then the bundle is usually, it gets ready to download. You can click view the file. You can click all the sections which we upload here. You can go back and check. Or you can edit this section. Are you sure you want to edit it? Yes, I want to edit it. You can add one more section. You can add as many files as you want. Upload. Once it is done, you can go back, submit. So once it is submitted, we will get notified as this has been resubmitted with the version 2. So I have one request. Anytime once the final bundle is submitted and you want to add the page number, try to make a new section. So your pagination won't affect. Sometimes some lawyers go to the section A and add more files there. That causes issue and it recreates the pagination and the whole pagination gets changed. And then when we get a complaint and we say, no, you have to either you have to, before you submit the code, make sure you add the files, or during the process, if you want to add more file, go to the last section, create a new section, additional documents, and you can name anything, and then you can put more documents there. If I click on view bundle, I will click on any document here. You will see there are multiple options on the above. One is the underline. You can underline few the important sections. You can highlight those sections, or you can mark up with the boxes for the hearing, and also there is a free text. If you want to put a note, you can just double click and just press note. And you see on my right side, all the notes are saved automatically. You don't need to save anything. And this is only private to you. So let's suppose if I am in section C and I am in file numbers, any file, this will remain on your right side always. You can hide it, you can unhide it, and if you want to go back to the previous section where this comment was, you can click it. It will automatically take you to that particular page where you have put your sections. You can put your comments, your highlight in hundreds of pages. It will keep saving it here, and then you can click there and it will take you back to that section. Again, it's private to you. It's not going to any other party. Neither judge can see that, or neither other parties can see that. One more thing I just want to show it here is the indexing. So we got few of the feedbacks from the law firms that the indexing, when we start, some of the bundles are like 10,000 pages. The indexing is itself taking like 5, 10, 20 pages. The page number starts with the indexing, like page number 1. And the actual section goes after that. Let's suppose your indexing is 50 pages, your first page is 51. So we received some suggestions from the lawyers and law firms. One of them suggested us, why not we use the numeric Roman numbers in the pagination, in the index. We have done it. You can see on my right side here, this is in the UAT. We haven't yet moved to the live because we have so many hearings back to back. We don't want to move live. Then things will change. Of course, a lot of lawyers, they note down their pagination. So the reason for this training and thing was, we will showcase you this, and after your approvals, we'll send an email. We will go live, and because we have few hearings upcoming, the pagination, when we go live, the whole thing will change. If they have put notes, if they have kept some notes somewhere, they have to redone that. But of course, we will not go live until we get confirmation from few lawyers, and we'll speak to our judges also. They are happy with it, and I hope this alpha Roman numbers will sort a lot of issues. So I'll go back to my. Even when you download the bundle, because the UAT test, there is nothing, there is no scheduler running backend. That's the reason the download is not there. So even when you download the bundle, you will see the same exactly the pagination or the indexing which you see it here. Most of our practice are when they are in the hearing, they download the PDF first and they refer based on the PDF, and it's the same as our case bundle which we have online. Do we have any questions? Mm-hmm. Yes, yes, yes. Yes, as I mentioned, please try to add an additional section at the bottom, which will help you guys or help court also to, to identify there are additional documents added at the end. It will not affect the page numbers. Even when we go live with the Roman page numbers, that will only affect the indexing. The rest of you still have to make that practice. Any time if there is new page, either before you submitting the code, you have to make sure everything is submitted, everything is uploaded on the right sections. But after the submission, because the judge also gets a notified, he downloads the bundle. If you make changes after the words, that page number changes. Yes. So better if you create a new section at the end and upload their additional documents. So that is better for you and the judges also. They have the new document at the last, so that the pagination they are working currently, it will not affect. Now, if the bundle is already shared and page, if you are uploading new page, you don't need to reshare the document. They will automatically get notified there is new documents, and when they click view, they will see there is already new files being uploaded. As I said, we are working on one of the enhancement which will give both the parties ability to upload the document. Once the claimant start the bundle, they will upload it, and then they will share the permission with to defendant, so that they have as an owner role. They will upload their documents, and their sections will be prefixed as defendant, and the claimant section will be prefixed as the claimant. Again, once the document is submitted, if you are keep adding the document in the middle, the page numbers will be get affected. So better, as I said, create a new bundle. Sorry, create a new sections at the end. We will look into this. Once you shared the by default, the bundle is shared with the defendant registered email address, which is with us in the system, and you can share as many individuals you want. You have to add them manually, but we will look into this. If previously we never had this complaint that emails disappear for after a while. There is the share bundle, share option. Once you submit the bundle, by default, it is shared. I'll just. Yes. So there, I'll just try create one more. We already done it. So I'll just show you. If you remember, once I was submitting the bundle, it was showing this option. Okay, if I check it, because it's a test case, there is no party. If you uncheck that party, it will not go to the defendant. So you have the option here to uncheck it. So by default, it will go to defendant. If you go back to click here, there will be a defendant name. You click there and submit. The link won't go there. And to share with your part two, you can just click share bundle and add their email address. It will be shared with them. They can review it. And then you have to make sure then you go back to the share and share with the parties.
Because when I tried doing that,
It's selected automatically.
No, I can look into that, but I have tested it previously also. If you click here before you submit it, here there is an option to uncheck the defense. Yes, there's. Again, as Reem mentioned, we have this email address. If you have any further questions, you can send us an email. And also, please, if you have any suggestions for us to improve our case bundle, we love that. Please share us. We will work on it. We'll check the possibilities, how we can make the system better. So do we have any questions online, please? Yes. So once you are this is when once you are adding the new document. Sorry for I misunderstood that. Once you are adding a new bundle, it's like a new. Once you are adding the documents, it's like a new bundle for us. It's a upgraded version. So before you submit that, once you submit that, you have to reshare the access with the concerned parties. If you can see it here, I was editing it. You can see there are multiple versions available here. So the latest one you have to always check. I will show you the full bundle. I will download it now. It is ready. When I download it, open this, and you can see there is this Roman numbers available, and this contains 325 pages. It remains the same as the case bundle, and the page number starts one from the claim form, the actual file. So we have this functionality ready, but we are not moving live because there are multiple hearings simultaneously going on. So we will discuss with registrars, and we will send one of the email to all law firms that we are going live, so they are up and ready. If in case they have a hearing, they can download the existing one bundle, and then they can, once we change live, they have the Roman numbers available in the indexing. So thank you so much for joining us. So again, if you have any question, please, or feedback, send us by email. Reem is monitoring that email box, and we will make sure that we are trying. Yes, sorry. Yes, no problem. So you go to any page. So you have it on the top here. You can see my cursor, right? So those are highlighters. You can highlight the important things, or you can just press, there is this text, free text. You can click anywhere, and then you can just say, there is no text limit. You can just put anything you want. And by default, if you see, it's automatically saving here. The latest notes are on the top. Okay. Thank you so much once again. Thank you. Thanks for coming. Thanks everyone, whoever joined us online.